Well, Australia has had 3 big elections in the past 12 months. The federal election in May last year, which brought in the new Labor government under Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. The Victorian election in November, which returned the Dan Andrews Labor government, arguably the worst government in Australian history. And New South Wales last month, which also flipped the state to Labor under new Premier Chris Minns. The Liberal Party is on the outer in all but one state across Australia. What should the Liberal Party do to regain middle Australia and the forgotten middle class, on whom Robert Menzies based the party when he co-founded it in 1944? Well, they could do worse than to follow the example of Tanya Davies, the Liberal state member for Badgerys Creek in Western Sydney and one of the handful, if not only, member to increase her majority at any of those 3 elections. Davies explained the secret of her success on this show just last week.
And that has been my first and only priority, which is my community comes first. And so when there are situations in government that arise where I feel very, very deeply and strongly that I do not support or do not agree, and I can see that it's going to be harmful and hurtful for my community, I cannot but speak out and stand up on behalf of my community and be their voice into government and even beyond in terms of the media and having these issues raised and aired on their behalf.
Here's the twist. She's referring to standing up not to Labor or some other nefarious political force, but to her own party, which was in government at the time and had decided to impose its worst lockdowns during COVID on her electorate. Davies shot to fame by posting Facebook Live videos criticising the lockdowns and vaccine mandates. She also spoke at public rallies criticising her own government's vaccine policies. In other words, she stood up for her constituents. Davies has thrown her hat in the ring for the role of deputy leader of the party, which along with the leadership will be decided late next week. Davies would make an excellent deputy leader. She's been in Parliament for 12 years and the respect she has earned from her constituents should be a template for her colleagues. But one insider told me this week, and I hope he's wrong, that she is unlikely to win the deputy position because some of her colleagues are still upset about her speaking out against the party's vaccine and COVID policies, even though those policies are now not only discredited, they may yet be central to widespread class action lawsuits from people injured or killed as a result of them. If Davies is stymied, and again I hope she isn't, it will be another sign that the Liberal Party has lost touch with its base. Here's another sign. Moira Deeming is a new Liberal member of the Victorian Parliament who spoke at a rally for women's rights, recently crashed by a gang of comical Nazis doing Sieg Heil salutes. And for doing that, she is now temporarily excluded from the party by state opposition leader John Pesutto.